So we're back at A Rocha, Canada, where Jenn worked as assistant farm manager for a couple of years.
I sure did.
Here to help out as they start the new CSA season.
Mm-hmm.
You excited to be back?
Oh, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. It's walking down memory lane, but yeah, really excited to help out the new farm manager. Just get her assembly.
We'll get to talk to Carly a bit later and
hear a bit more about her experience and also what it's like to harvest for the CSA.
So we're here at A Rocha Farm, and we're here with Carly Richardson, and she's the head farm manager here. I used to work at A Rocha the last 2 seasons, and I worked with farmer Paul. I was his assistant. So Carly's taken on the reins of the whole operation. She's been absolutely killing it this year. So we just wanted to have a chat with Carly and see how her experience has been and just talk about what it's like to be a CSA farm. Tell us a bit about yourself and like how you got into farming and how you made your way here to A Rocha.
Yeah, so I'm from California originally, and I've been farming for about 4.5 years now, I think. And I grew up in the suburbs, like definitely didn't grow up around ag. I wouldn't have really ever guessed this is where I would find myself in vocationally. But I've always been very passionate about food, and when I was in college, I took a course on food systems and just got really curious. And we visited a farm in that course, and I was like, I think this is where I want to be. And so lots of other moving pieces, but that was sort of what directed me in that way. And so I spent a year on a therapeutic farm, and then I wanted to kind of get more production experience. And a friend pointed me to A Rocha, and that they had an internship in agriculture. And so I did that internship in 2018. And that was really like, my experience here was pretty formative for me as a farmer. It helped me to see kind of, I think, just the like value and depth to farming as like a means to care for the environment and a way to relate to people. And so after that, I felt like pretty sure that I wanted to keep going in ag, and so spent the next couple years working on 2 different farms in California, in Northern California. So I was at Singing Frogs Farm, which was a no-till vegetable farm, and then a flower farm as well, Beside Flower Farm, and had just great experiences there, and then made my way up here.
So just gonna say hello to the chickies. We provide all the eggs here for the community. They're usually very people friendly. They're very curious. So we'll see if they come running to us or away from us. Oh, well, the flock last year was friendly. Hard to speak chicken. Hey, lady. They're a little skittish. Well, and I've heard that through the grapevine that you love cooking and maybe you have some culinary training as well. There's some similarities.
Yeah, definitely. I do love cooking. I think that's probably part of more what like I knew of food before coming to farming was just my love of cooking and eating long meals. And so in the past couple of years, I've also worked as a private chef a bit. With a friend of mine. She hired me on as a chef, and I loved it, and it was totally like jumping in and feeling like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing at all. And then I was like cooking for all these like wealthy Bay Area people, and so I went to cooking school in like one winter at a farm-to-table cooking school, Ballymaloe in Ireland. It was a dream. It was very cool. So on a farm, and so I don't know how that will tie in, but definitely I know that it will somewhere down the line. I think my love of eating food has made me love growing it.
Yeah, that's definitely how I got into it as well. Like I did some university in like food systems and international development, and then did culinary school and cooked off and on for like 8 years, and then found my way into farming because it kind of was like the last piece of the food system that I didn't really understand. And I think it's really helpful, especially like in a CSA type farm, that it's a lot of education with the people that buy shares into the farm, because a lot of the people will know how to cook, and other people it's a skill set that they're working on. So I found there's a lot of crossover, and being able to share some, you know, even recipe tips with people, getting them comfortable with food. Like your chefing has a lot to bring to that as well. So it's fun how like all the different life experiences kind of like have brought you to this place and this point. I'm definitely excited to be able to work that in little ways at least.
And it's so neat here being like right connected to like the guest house, and so there's like community meals happening all the time coming out of the garden. Like the farm to table piece is like very well incorporated here, and the internship especially, like it's all about like learning how to cook seasonally, and so I feel very excited to be back in that space.
These greenhouses we upcycled last year from another farm. So we went to their property, disassembled, brought it here, reassembled, and Farmer Paul put on these scoop and roll-up sides. So it helps regulate temperature and airflow. And creates a lot of awesome space for growing tomatoes. So tomatoes are one of my absolute favorite crops to grow because I love eating them. They're delicious. These guys are growing them in a single liter style. So you can see there's this string and clips leading from the ground all the way up to the top. And a single liter means basically just 1 liter. But tomatoes are really good growers, and they like to put out multiple liters. So a big job throughout the year is pruning almost every week to make sure you keep the tomatoes in their place. So what you do to remove what is called a sucker is you can come in with snips, or you can literally just looks mean, but this is a sucker, so it's going to pull energy away from the plant working on its foliar growth and getting taller. Once it's big enough, then we want it to transition to its fruiting growth. And these little flowers will be tomatoes one day. Can you give us just an overview of what different crops are in the field right now?
So most everything we're growing is planted out at this point. I mean, there'll be a lot of quick crops like continuing to go in, but all our big plantings are done. So those are, we've got tomatoes, 2 tunnels, high tunnels of tomatoes, which is really awesome. And then we've got some tomatillos. We've got a big field of winter squash, summer squash and cucumbers, also a tunnel of peppers and eggplants, and then lots of root veggies. We've got beets and carrots and parsnips, and then a whole field of brassicas. So we've got like 4 or 5 varieties of kale right now, and some other ones will come in for for the fall, and then and probably overwintered. We've got lots of cabbage. Paul started a tradition, well, but like the tradition of the ferments, which I'm very excited to hope to keep running because I love that too. And so we've got lots of cabbage in hopes of kind of keeping the sauerkraut going and the hot sauce and all that. Which also I just love the value add of ferments too. yeah, I don't know, radishes, salad turnips, mustard.
Some lettuce out there.
Yeah.
Different lettuces.
Lots of different lettuces,
Yeah.
phalanovas and big butterhead lettuces, fennel, what else?
A good
Herbs. Yeah,
Yeah.
good mix. Members will get a mix of all of that, and now that we're using the Harvey system, it gives like flexibility on both sides. So we're able to put in, you know, if we only had 20 bunches or something, we can still sell it,
Yeah.
as opposed to needing one for every member. But also they can choose, like, I never want to see mustard again, or I want all of the kale you have. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice too with the on-site market as well. Like if we have extras, we can direct food that way, right?
Yeah. Hopefully this year too, like the market has is open 4 days a week now, and so more
Oh, good.
consistently. I'm really hopeful. And we've got a summer worker who's like kind of in between the farm and the store. So I'm really hopeful we'll be able to push a lot more out that way. Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah, so I've had the privilege of mentoring Carly a bit this year in the transition from her coming in and Paul and both coming out. And it's been really fun chatting with you on the phone every other week and doing a lot of problem solving, because we both know like farming is problem solving.
Yeah.
If it's not one thing, it's another. But there's always abundance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really fun doing that with you and continuing. And you're doing a great job here. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. And yeah, you're just killing it. I'm really proud of you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, it's been such a gift to have your support and Paul's. Like, I feel like it was a big undertaking, but I have like such strong mentors that I like get to inherit alongside like this whole space. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Well, thanks for the chat today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you have any, you guys, people out there in YouTube land, you want to learn more about A Rocha and the farm program, but also the conservation science team and the education that goes on site, click the link below, and yeah, follow along on Instagram and like all the pictures with Carly and her awesome team. Thanks for being with us.
Woo!
Thank you.
So we just finished a workday at A Rocha. I just came over to help out Carly and the team in the first CSA day. We harvested 64 boxes of vegetables, which is a lot of food for a lot of people, and a team of all girls, which is super great, hardworking, and we got done ahead of schedule, which was really exciting. So we were able to catch up on some weeding, which can get out of hand this time of year. Really excited for A Rocha CSA for this season. Carly's going to be able to open it up to some more families, meaning more local people are getting fed local food. Lower travel miles for food, which is really exciting, less of an environmental impact. And yeah, just really excited to see what happens for the season. Follow them on social media at A Rocha Market to see how Carly and her team does. But yeah, thanks for joining us on this adventure. Super fun day to help out.